you'll probably be diabetic. You'll probably be blind or going blind from diabetic retinopathy and or macular edema degeneration. You'll probably have your legs amputated and have to sit in a wheelchair. But you'll probably still be alive to see your daughter grow up. But that's what you're looking at if you want to keep going to Popeye's Chicken and Wendy's and McDonald's and buying Little Debbie snack cakes or whatever you're doing. That's what you're looking at. Hey folks, it's Tom, your frugal prepper. I'm a former mobile mechanic. I'm no longer a mobile mechanic, but I fix cars. This is a Chevy Malibu here beside me that I'm replacing a motor in. And I decided that I would get cars used really cheap that are broken, and then I fix them up and I fix everything that's wrong with them and make them like good cars, and then I would give them away for free to somebody in need. And that way I can do lots of videos on how the cars come apart, how you fix certain things. And this one needed a motor, the next one might be electrical, it might be suspension, just anything that's wrong with the car, I'll fix it, do videos on it so that you guys can learn how to fix your cars. And then I'll give it away to somebody in need for free. I'll find a veteran, a single parent, somebody with a big family that needs another car because theirs died, you know, something like that. And I'll give it to them. And then as the YouTube money allows, I'll go out on Facebook Marketplace or wherever and buy another car and go through it and fix it. So if you like that idea, if you like helping people out who need cars, people who are in desperate need of having a car, join my Patreon. Give me $1 a month, $5 a month. Help me out, and all that money will go towards fixing cars, buying, selling cars, maybe occasionally a tool or something if I need that, but it all goes to that. And so this message is for Carnivore Kip. This video, he said, like, why do people go on carnivore and they just lose all their cravings? Now, I'm not carnivore, I'm ketovore. I believe that humans can eat plants once in a while and they're perfectly fine, and we've eaten plants on bad hunting days for forever. I will eat onions, I will eat peppers, I will eat mushrooms, I will eat spaghetti squash, I will eat some tomato and spaghetti and pasta sauce that I make for my garden. I will eat I don't know, I'll eat olives, I'll eat this low carb veggies. I don't eat broccoli so much because it's really high in toxins, because it's a flower that hasn't bloomed yet and it's not ready to be eaten. So I try to eat vegetables that are ripe and ready to be eaten. But yeah, I mean, humans have eaten plants for a long time. We had bad hunting days, and we went and gathered up some plants and we ate them. And we ate plants for a long time before there was an obesity epidemic. The obesity epidemic is caused primarily, I believe, by seed oils. And then we add other things in there to pack an extra punch, like high fructose corn syrup and non-yeast bread, right? So bread made from yeast has got a 40 glycemic impact, and it's better for you, and it's made from salt water and flour. The ingredient list on Wonder Bread is crazy, and it's made they make the carbon dioxide to leaven it from baking powder. Not yeast. They eat the flour and give off carbon dioxide, and they eat a lot of the carbohydrates when they eat the flour, right? So we've eaten as humans that for a long time, and we have not had an obesity epidemic. So I want to say, number one thing that I do is, if I am just like every day, I'm like, man, I want a chocolate chip cookie. I want a chocolate chip cookie. I want a chocolate chip cookie. if I just keep putting that off and I do not have a chocolate chip cookie, I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. Guess what happens? One day I'm at the grocery store and I see a pack of chocolate chip cookies and I buy it and I eat the whole thing in my van on the way home, right? So what I've learned to do is when I really want a chocolate chip cookie, I have one. And I have one that my wife makes with as whole of ingredients as possible, without all the preservatives and the stuff to make them soft and all that crap in it. And made from butter and flour and all the good stuff. I have one, and I have a pretty good size one. And, you know, once a month or so, I gotta have a chocolate chip cookie. I say I want a chocolate chip cookie, I have one. Right? Some people, they'll just never have that craving if I want a chocolate chip cookie. Okay. That's fine for them, but when you have serious cravings, you're better off just to satisfy them a little bit and then get right back on the wagon. So I have a chocolate chip cookie that night and I might skip my breakfast the next day and skip my lunch and then just have a dinner, right? So that's important to know. And I also do keto meals once in a while. When I'm in the mood for a good meal with my wife and if we're celebrating something, or if I just want to have a nice candlelight dinner with my wife, I'll make some spaghetti squash and I'll put some pasta sauce on it from my garden, or I'll make an Alfredo to go on it, and I'll make some meatballs. And we'll just have a good meal, but it's still really keto and really clean and really low carbohydrate. And I think that's the main thing, is I've learned if I'm going to cheat, it's going to be with stuff that I grow and make at home. Not stuff that I go to Popeye's Chicken and buy their bunch of their biscuits, right? I just don't go to fast food stores anymore. I have some raspberries when they come in season. I'll have a few raspberries. I have a big flower pot out in the front porch that I put 4 or 5 Pontiac red potatoes in. And I grow potatoes. And I usually get 2 to 3 pounds of potatoes out of that. I put them in a bowl in the basement. And that lasts me the whole year. When the potatoes are gone, they're gone. But once in a while, I chop one of those up. I fry it in bacon grease, not seed oil. And I eat one, right? I really believe that, some people just cannot go pure carnivore. They get cravings, and they just cave. And when they cave big, because they've been putting it off for so long and they've been thinking about that food for so long. They're like, I'm done with this. And they go off of it for days or for a week then. Instead of just having a little something extra, a little something special, and then hopping right back on the wagon. But I want to also touch on, you have to figure out your why. So, Carnivore Kip, you're a pretty young guy. And you have a beautiful wife and daughter. And I was a young guy once too. It doesn't seem that long ago, right? But I'm going to be 50 here in May. And I still feel like I'm 25 inside my head, but, it's what it is. I've had a stroke, and then I've had 4 to 5 strokes before that when they did the MRI. Now, my heart's good. All my veins are good. I have 0 blockages, a coronary calcium score of 0. I have a CTA scan that shows no hard or soft plaque anywhere in my lungs or heart or anything like that. There's no problems. And so they've scanned my kidneys to check for tumors, for high blood pressure or something. My kidneys are fine. I don't, but I do have a problem with high blood pressure from the years of being really fat and diabetic and weighing almost 500 pounds and being on 300 plus units of insulin a day, plus metformin, plus a fistful of other pills. And I had to take aspirin and Tylenol every day just to walk because my knee hurt so bad. And they were going to do a replacement on it at some point. They'd done the MRIs and said I needed a replacement. But it's healed now and it's fine. I had a torn rotator cuff. That's healed and it's fine. But if somebody had told me when I was your age, this is the way to health, I can't, knowing what I know now, I would stay on it. I would follow it as best as I could and stay on the wagon. You know, I deal with side effects from my stroke, and I know that I talk fine, right? I'm talking good. But that's not where my stroke hit. A lot of people, it does hit their speech center. Mine did not. Mine hit my balance, like my balance, and just feeling really weird and lightheaded all the time. And I had double vision like crazy, and my vision was blurry at first. A lot of that's gotten way better. I don't have any double vision anymore, but I have this pupil that doesn't, in bright light, it doesn't shrink all the way down. So I have to have glasses that auto darken. And sometimes if it's really bright, even with my glasses, I kind of have to close that eye, you know. I have numbness in my face, and my side right here gets kind of numb sometimes. My arm will tingle. My leg's a little nummy, you know, it doesn't quite work. And so since I have a little balancing problem, my balance has gotten way better, I still, once in a while, I'm like, whoa, and I have to kind of take a step, you know. But to keep my balance when I'm walking, I have to use a lot of muscles, because I don't feel that I'm leaning this way until I'm really leaning that way, and then I have to correct it quick. And so I use a lot of muscles. So my legs get really tired. Like I went to Kings Island today and rode roller coasters, and man, I just was pooped afterwards. And I had to keep sitting down and taking little breaks because my muscles in my legs were turning to jello, right? But they're getting better and better the more I walk, and you know, I'm happy that I'm at least able to walk, right? But if somebody had told me 25 years ago, yeah, you can do this and you don't have to have any of those problems, I would have done it 100%, because those problems are serious and significant. The truth is that even if you don't go carnivore, you'll probably live to see your daughter grow up. I know you've said a lot of times that that's why you're on carnivore. The truth is you'll probably still be alive. You'll probably be diabetic. You'll probably be blind or be going blind from diabetic retinopathy and or macular edema degeneration. You'll probably have your legs amputated and have to sit in a wheelchair. I mean, a lot of times they start with the foot and then they work their way up and then they do the other one, right? You'll probably, you know, a lot of times it's just a toe. They call it clipping a toe. I used to work at a hospital, and that's what the surgeon would say. Oh, we got to go clip a toe. That's a diabetic with a dead toe, right? And they just go in. You can't even feel it anymore because you got complete neuropathy down there, and they just go in and clip a toe. You'll probably, your kidney function will decline, and you'll eventually be on dialysis. You won't be able to really drive anymore, even if you still have your legs. You'll be pretty much just confined to sitting. And they'll come get you in a wagon that costs a lot of money, and you'll have to have insurance to hopefully pay for that, to take you to the dialysis center. You have to be really nice and compliant with the people in the dialysis center, or they'll turn you away and say you're not welcome here anymore, and then you die. And you can't ever travel very far because you have dialysis 3 times a week. And then your diet gets really funny. Like you can't enjoy a tomato anymore when you're on dialysis because of the toxins that all of the different foods put out. You have to be very careful what you eat when you're on dialysis, or you build up too much stuff in your system before your next dialysis appointment. But you'll probably still be alive to see your daughter grow up. But that's what you're looking at if you want to keep going to Popeye's Chicken and Wendy's and McDonald's and buying Little Debbie snack cakes or whatever you're doing. That's what you're looking at. And it's really important to remember that why. When you see the donuts that somebody brought to work and you're thinking about having one, you have to think, is it really worth what my father-in-law went through with blindness, deafness, dialysis from diabetes? It's not worth it. It's not. That donut is not worth it. But if you would normally avoid donuts or the cake for months at a time, and you're like, I really, really want a piece of cake, and they're having a retirement party at work and they have a cake, have a little piece of cake. But then get right back on the wagon and start losing the weight and getting healthier. I need to lose another 60 to 70 pounds to be the thin, trim, like ideal me. And I'm just going to eat one meal a day until that happens. I'm skipping breakfast and lunch. I'm having a sensible sized dinner, and then I'm not eating. Even if I'm like, I really want a chocolate chip cookie, I'm not going to eat. At least for a few weeks. So that I can lose the rest of this weight and hopefully get my blood pressure under control finally and get off of some of these medications. If you end up with resistant hypertension, I'm on 8 medications right now. They give you medications that have very real side effects. And there's lightheadedness, muscle pain. Nifedipine caused my sciatic nerve to go crazy. It was so bad, sciatic pain, I couldn't even get out of bed. Which I'm off of nifedipine now. But you will have, I have one that dilates my pupils. I take it and my pupils like dilate and everything looks super bright. I'm like looking at my monitor at work like, ow, that hurts. Right? I have one that makes me like just tired. I'll just be working away and I'll be like, and I've been on ones that have caused things not to work down there in Manland. I'm not on that one now. The side effects are just nasty. You just don't want that. And that's another thing that you're looking at is resistant hypertension if you get to where I was. So look at the whys you're doing things and the reasons that you want, and realize that you're worth more than that. You're a good guy. You're smart. You're capable. And no matter what somebody looks at you and says, oh, he's so fat, he blah, 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 don't pay attention to those people. You just keep doing your thing. And don't worry if you lose 1 pound that month or you lose 20. Don't worry about it. But just keep on the track in general. And once in a while, if you fall off the wagon a little bit and you have a pack of Oreos, just get right back on it. And don't deny yourself those things that you really love so long that it just becomes like, I'm just going off of this. I'm eating what I want. Once in a while, have a cookie. All right? That's how I dealt with it. And I don't know if I was addicted to food so much, but I just really just ate everything because I was hungry all the time. And I'm not hungry as much anymore, but I still occasionally do get those cravings. So try to avoid those foods, but once in a while, if you have a really strong craving to have something off plan, go ahead and have it, and then get right back on the plan. And you'll be okay. But when you go off of it and you fall off for a week or a month or 3 months, that's not good. All right, that's getting you back to where you were before, and you don't want to go there. You don't want to go down that path, the path that I was going down. You don't want to. I have no doubt, as bad as I felt, if I would have stayed on that path 5 years ago, I would have been blind. I would have lost a leg. I would have done all of those things by now, and I haven't. So I'm happy. Anyway, that's all I got for you. I'll talk to y'all later. Everybody, have a nice week. Next week, it's going to be Monday. I'm going to go to work, get some work done. If anybody else shows up, they'll do work too, but I don't know. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. This is Tom at FrugalPrepper. Waffle Kid, how you doing, buddy? Come here. Come here and see me. Oh, Waffle Kid. Oh, you have to come here. You have to do a tigy trick. Come on, do a tigy trick. Tigy trick, come on. I'm up on a stool. What, you just rubbing my tripod. That's not cool. Come on, give me a tigy trick. Give me a tigy trick. Come on, Waffle. Thanks for the dead mouse that you left on the driveway. That was really nice of you to catch a mouse and leave it for us. Yes. You just gave us a dead mouse. Yes, you did. You didn't even eat it yourself. No, you're a good kid. You're a good kid. Yes, you are. All right.